Hi guys, I'm back. Just getting my stuff on, and again, like a lot of bikers who ride through the winter, this would be my normal routine. As you can see, my fuel light's on. I didn't fill the tank up completely, so we're just going to go for a little ride, see if we can find somewhere nice. So here we go. So first thing to note about this bike, when I bought it from a photograph, which they tell you never to do. Spoke to the dealer, he sent me a couple of videos. The guy seemed really nice, as they all do, but he genuinely seemed nice. He said it was a family business. I'd done the reviews on the guy, and thank you, sir. Seemed alright, so he delivered the bike, and I purchased this bike for £3,100 6 years ago with 19,000 miles on the clock. 6 years later, it's now got 53,000 miles on the clock, which I don't think is bad for 6 years. That's quite good. Always feels like you do more miles than you actually do, if that makes sense. I've done some long journeys on this bike. I ride it every day to work. I say my daily to and from journey to work is around 22 miles, so not too bad every day. As I said, I get around 220. If I fill the tank right up to the actual neck of the petrol tank, I will get 250 miles out of a tank, including reserve, which is 5 litres, which works out to around 30 miles. So I bought the bike off a photograph and a couple of videos. Really happy from day one. I got the bike, it's got full panniers, top box, it's got heated grips. The modes are on and off, there's no electronics. I've got fuel injection and ABS. There's definitely not traction control. I don't know why I always think I've got traction control, I haven't. It's purely ABS and fuel injection. First thing I noticed when I had the bike, it is immensely heavy. I'm 5'7", possibly touching 5'8" on a good day if I really stretch out. With 1 foot down, you can see my foot is flat on the floor. If I put 2 feet down, then it's balls of the feet. So even though it's got quite a high seat height and the seat is quite wide, I don't find it too bad. The times I notice the weight, and it's 532 pound wet, as in with all the fluids in it. The time I notice the weight is when I have to lug it around the garden, put it on the centre stand, and hopefully if you've watched my little clip about my piece of wood, if you haven't, look it up on the Wiltshire Rider. A little piece of wood is invaluable, and it helps me to get the bike on the centre stand. Not all the time, but mainly when I've had a long day and I'm a bit tired maybe. Also, the piece of wood is good for the side stand when you're not on solid ground. As I say, you do notice the weight when the bike is stationary. Soon as the bike starts moving, however, no issues. Even on a slow move through traffic, this bike is easy to maneuver, it's easy to weave in and out of traffic, and although it has, I think it has a great road presence, it's actually easy to slip through traffic. I don't use the panniers unless I need to carry stuff or go shopping or something, so I don't use the panniers purely because I like to ride through traffic. I like to slip through queues of traffic. That's one of the main reasons for riding a bike, apart from enjoyment, is not being stuck in hours of traffic. So, besides the weight, one of the other things that is annoying is the fact that the exhaust gaskets on this bike go for a pastime. I've replaced the exhaust gaskets twice in 6 years, and within, I would say, about a year of replacing them, they start blowing again. Really annoying. Doesn't really affect the bike that much, it just makes it pop and bang a bit more when you let the throttle off, which I actually quite like anyway. But it's just annoying that it does that. I've replaced the gaskets, I've used exhaust seals, I've put better clamps on, and I don't know whether it's because it's a V-twin and it's got a good amount of compression, or it's just a weakness of this particular bike, but when you go on the forums they all seem like it. But it's not a major issue, it doesn't really cause any concern, and it's not, the bike's not really that loud even with those exhausts on. So as you may be able to tell by the actual video, it's a windy day today, so I'm not going to ride far, but I fancied getting out on the bike. It's been a busy week, a little bit of stress, and I thought let's get out and clear my head. Nice Range Rover there, built for off-road by the looks of it. So the bike's heavy and the exhaust gaskets do tend to go every couple of years. Not major issues, I would say. Riding position, absolutely love it. The bike is really comfortable. I said about the seat being a little bit wide, but it's very comfortable. I'd say it's on the firm side. I would say maybe after 3 or 4 hours you get a little bit of ache in your bum, but then I've never known a bike I've ridden that I don't get that if I've owned it long term. So it's no different to any other bike. Look at this mud on the road. Why did I come this way? Oh, this is the good old Wiltshire roads for you folks. Wiltshire, England, the place of mud. You can feel the bike squirming. I've got road trial tyres, that's a good thing to talk about seeing as we're on a muddy road. I have road trial tyres, Michelin's road trial 6. I replaced them the end of last year around November. I get around 10,000 miles out the back tyre and probably more or less the same out the front. I do actually use my tyre beyond, not legal limits, but beyond what you would consider kind of usable. I get my money's worth out of them, shall I say. The back tyre tends to wear in the middle, and it doesn't matter how I use my air pressure. I run my tyres quite high because of the weight of the bike, but I've run them low, I've run them high, I've run them medium. Tyres seem to wear in the same pattern every single time over the 6 years, so I just accept that it's a heavy bike and that the tyres are going to wear as they wear. So I get, as I said, around 10,000 miles out of a set of tyres. I'm happy with that. I haven't got an issue with that. It's not a problem. Must remember to zero my clock, seeing as I haven't got a fuel gauge, and keep an eye on that fuel level. So yes, weight of the bike, exhaust gasket's annoying. Tyres for me seem pretty good. I don't have an issue with the tyres. The grip on them is phenomenal, even in wet weather. Around Wiltshire at the moment there hasn't been any rain for a couple of weeks. We've had like that kind of real light hazy rain, but we haven't had a good downpour, and we need a good downpour to clear these roads. I doubt if the camera picks it up. Maybe it picks up the shininess of the road, but there is mud everywhere. On about mud, the bike's relatively easy to clean. I've started recently using muck off, but when I haven't got that, I just use wash that liquid hot water and a brush, and it gets the bike to a reasonable standard without stripping panels off and stuff like that. So back to riding position. I said that the seat is firm but it's comfortable, which it is. I've done sort of 5-6 hour rides on this bike, no issues at all, no tingly fingers, no tingly toes, no cramps. As I say, you get the odd bit of bum ache, but I have experienced that on other bikes anyway. Engine wise, it's a V-twin. For those of you who ride V-twins, you already know they're lumpy. They're lumpy, bumpy engines. This one is, as I say, 16 years old, so it's an older V-twin engine. And it splutters, it pops, and it bangs, but I love it. I love the feel. You feel like you're riding something. You know that if you get it in the wrong gear, it's going to splutter and vibrate, and so I love that kind of feeling. I love the noise it makes, and I also love that low down torque of a V-twin. Maybe it's not so powerful as a 4-cylinder, but I just love the feel of it. Always have done. I love V4s and I love V-twins. Do you get that I like my V engines? So anyway, yes, it's got some lovely torque to it. The engine does vibrate, and you can feel the vibrations, but not in a tingly, annoying way. You could just feel that the engine's moving. You can feel those pistons kind of going up and down in the cylinders. As you see now, as I accelerate, there's plenty of torque. I'm not going to push it too much on these roads because they are very, very muddy. But yeah, the engine's fine. You know, it's as I say, it's got no modes. You turn the key, you start it up, and away you go. I like the way it feels, I like the way it sounds, and the fuel economy is exactly the same whether it's just me riding or whether it's my other half fully loaded with the panniers, luggage, and we're going away for a weekend. I still get exactly the same fuel economy. More mud, no. Oh, it's really muddy, look at this. So yeah, the fuel economy is the same. The engine with 2 up fully loaded is exactly the same as it is 1 up, no weight. It just pulls and pulls and pulls. It's such a good engine. I'm really pleased with it. Obviously this engine's from the what is it, the VTR, the Honda Race VTR, is it? Can't remember now. But this engine pumps out, I think it's 98 brake horsepower. Couldn't tell you what the Newton meters is, doesn't matter to me. I just know when I twist the throttle it makes me smile and it makes me feel good. And I think on a bike that's part of the thing that you need to worry about. Does the bike make you feel good? When you walk away from your bike, when you've locked it up, do you look back and have a little smile? Because I do, even on this bike, and as cheesy as it sounds, I love it. So yeah, engine wise is great. I would say it's low maintenance. I change the oil every 8 to 10,000 miles. I've recently done the valve checks. It shims on this bike, and I've done the valve checks at around 48,000 miles, and there was nothing wrong with them. I didn't need to buy any more shims. They don't rattle. They're well within their tolerances, so I'm happy with that. The cam chain I checked at the same time. I think the cam chain is needed replacing at 60,000 miles on this thing. But again, no rattles, no tightness. When I had the cam covers off and I was doing the valve shims, obviously I checked to see if it was all okay, and it actually feels fine. Can't see around here, I'm too close. Are we free? Yes we are, thank you Mr. Farmer. As you can see, the lovely Wiltshire countryside. And seeing as the wind is blowing a gale, well, not blowing a gale, but as you can hear, the wind is quite strong. Let's talk about the screen. Oh, mud. Gonna have to clean my boots and everything. The screen is brilliant. As I said, I bought an aftermarket screen. I didn't think the original was very good anyway. The original screen just tended to blow either straight into my face, blow the airflow right into my face, or into my neck and shoulders. Although I'm getting a crosswind here, obviously because it's windy, I can still have my visor up and there's very little wind getting blown into my face. So yeah, I'm really happy with the screen I bought. The screen was 95 quid, slightly tinted, so I wish I got a clearer one now. And the little flip-up screen on the top works a treat. When I take it off, I can really notice a difference. I can really feel the air getting blown into my face on the top of my helmet. This screen does raise up by a couple of inches. So if I wanted to, I have to undo the bolts on the front, raise it up and re-bolt it in. Bit of a faff, but it is a possibility if you need to. But for me, It's perfect. I can ride like this all day long without any issues. Giant Golf Tee there. So yeah, the screen is beautiful. I've got these little sat-nav bar so that I can place some of my gizmos on it, and that clips into the same screws that the screen clips into. What else is there? Mirrors. I've already expressed my disdain at this cheap knockoff mirror. My own fault for buying it, so that is going to get replaced. But one thing I do say is this one is as equal as the genuine one in the respect of it doesn't vibrate. The mirrors are quite wide, on wide handlebars, so I get a little bit of my elbows, but not a lot. I'm not a very wide person, shall we say, so I can see a lot of the road behind me. I do like the mirrors. Just going to pull over here. So yeah, I'm very happy with the mirrors. They don't tingle, they don't vibrate. They do the job that they're meant to do, and they do it very well. Oh, a bit of an angle here. I don't know if the camera picks it up. Again, even though it's a heavy bike, this particular kind of manoeuvring is quite easy. You just got to be careful where you park. Headlamp on this bike, absolutely phenomenal. I had a VFR 750 and a VFR 800, and the headlamp is very similar. And to be honest, you don't need the LED lights. This light is fantastic. It lights up the road really well. Again, just listen. Lovely raspy sound to the exhaust. Just switch off a minute. Take these off. So yes, a very windy day. The handlebars are nice and wide, as I just said, so manoeuvrability on this bike, even with the weight, is very good. I love the dials. I've ridden for a long time, and I've not actually had a bike with a TFT screen, and I actually like the old dials. I love seeing that needle go up and down and the rev counter move. So yeah, very happy with the dials.